when we look for new markets, the first thing we need, and needless to say, is wind. But apart from that, we need something else. We need also a stable political framework and the will that the government has to commit to the energy transition.
Welcome to Beyond Energy, an Ocean Wind's original series. An in-depth look at how offshore wind projects become reality and why their impact extends far beyond the offshore wind farms. Beyond Energy explores the full journey, the decisions made, the challenges overcome, and the people and places shaping each step. This is Beyond Energy.
Of course, you need a good grid, you need ports, but that comes later. That could be something that you can improve, something that can be changed. It takes a lot of time, but it can be done. But if you don't have some stability, certainty, and framework and legal security, and that's very key when you really start at the very beginning of the process of developing projects in offshore wind. So the first thing is to have a policy, a framework that allow us to develop the site. We have to understand what are the conditions that the local communities, so what they expect, what the government is expecting from this industry. Trying to talk to people. I think everything in life is just being able to understand what the others are expecting and being able to talk to not only to high power in ministries, also talking to local communities, traditional custodians, fisheries.
Stable policy and community support are just as vital as technology. With the right framework and local license to operate, offshore wind creates jobs, strengthens economies, and delivers clean power with purpose.
In recent times, there have been some macroeconomic challenges that have affected offshore wind. If we look back at the last period, we've had the war in Ukraine, the COVID pandemic, and that has impacted global financing and inflation rates for offshore wind. But actually, I think we do have the tools to unlock some of these challenges and to move forwards. GWEC works at both the global level and then also at regional and national level. And so we're working in different emerging markets around the world for offshore wind. And we work with governments to transfer learning from more mature markets to emerging markets around the world. But we also work with multilateral institutions, with diplomatic networks to make those connections between different governments, different markets, so we can accelerate that learning process and also so we can solve challenges together.
Part of my role is to deal with uncertainty. When you are really starting a project, you really don't know what will be the timing or the final destination. What we really need at the beginning is having a roadmap, a time frame, timeline of what is going to happen.
Offshore wind is more than strong breezes at sea. To succeed, it needs wind, the right seabed, ports, policy, supply chains, and local support. Ocean Winds brings global expertise and experience to unlock these opportunities around the world.
This is just the beginning. We are starting a new journey in Australia. We have been already engaging with some of the communities and government, but now we really need to explain what is offshore wind. It will be a continuous conversation and dialogue, both with government and local communities. We will be able to continue through that journey, talking to everyone to make it happen.
We've seen that offshore wind can bring real benefits to communities that maybe have been forgotten in the past. So post-industrial coastal communities. We've seen in some areas there's been a decline of the fishing fleet. There are some really nice examples from some parts of the UK and from Scotland especially around how working together with communities that industry has been able to reverse some of this decline and to offer those long-term skilled jobs. We've seen a boost in hotel stays, we've seen a boost in spend in local businesses, cafes, restaurants. We've seen a revitalisation across different sectors of the local economy there through offshore wind.
GWEC allow us to be stronger because they bring all the offshore community together, all the different developers, but also supply chain and other stakeholders. And that gives us a whole voice and one voice when we're talking to government.
Ocean Winds are a key partner for GWEC. They're a pure play offshore wind developer, and for us that's really exciting because it's absolutely essential that we can work closely with developers to chart a course forward and to provide that blueprint for growth for offshore wind that both industry and the governments need. Offshore wind will be fundamentally important to the energy transition, and I definitely see it as an anchor for this new industrial revolution that we're going into now.
Ocean Winds is not just developing a project, we finance those projects and we will also be operating those projects for decades. We don't want to discuss and talk to the community, we want to be part of that community. That's what is really defines Ocean Winds. Starting new projects and new markets, it makes me happy to bring a new kind of energy, a clean energy, to these new areas and new places.